Hey, welcome to Healthier and Happier Humans, episode 21. I'm Ashley McGee, and continuing with our February trend talking about relationships. Today, we're going to talk about building better and stronger friendships. So, guys, if you weren't sure, we humans are social beings, and friendship is actually really, really important to our overall stability and well-being. So, kind of a thing. And I think, especially as adults, it can be really difficult to not only make new friends, but build really strong friendships. So that's why I wanted to talk about it. So let's dive right into this. First things first, build in ways to your relationship, your friendship, that allows you to keep in touch on a regular basis. So if you don't live in the same place as your friend, this could be, social media. It could be maybe it's a joint project. I am super thrilled that I was able to hire one of my really good friends as my social media manager. So we talk on a regular basis because we have that business relationship, but then it also helps us maintain our friendship, which is super fun. Or maybe it's an activity if you do live in the same place. Like maybe you guys go to a workout class together every week or do happy hour, whatever it is. But building something into your schedule that makes it so you talk or communicate in some way on a regular basis. My second tip is to create opportunities to spend time together that align with your goals. So maybe this year you're working to become healthier and you're like, okay, I don't want to do happy hour every week, or I don't want to do after dinner drinks because that's not really in alignment with what I'm trying to do. Well, so do things like schedule workout classes. Maybe you go on a hike with a friend, or something else that's active, or do an escape room with a group of friends. Something that is fun. It's fun to do with other people, but it's not necessarily revolving around whatever that activity is that you're trying to avoid. Or, also just mixing it up and doing something that other than drinking with your friends, right? Because I think that's can be one of those things that we kind of default to, and it's good to have other outlets. Okay. Build each other up. Hang out with people and this is not just hey, hang out with people that build you up, but you need to build your friends up too. Celebrate their successes, celebrate wins. If one of your friends has a big promotion, or just has something good happen in their life, celebrate it together and get excited for them, genuinely excited for them, and they'll do the same for you. Also, when they're having a hard time or you're having a hard time, right? Be there to support them. That's really important to, for your closest friends to know that you have their back. And I've had many, many, many occasions where I am helping out a friend and they're like, I'm so sorry, I'm such a mess. And I'm like, hey, this is what friendship is, right? If I know when I'm going through a rough time, you have my back, right? It's about showing up for the people in your life that you care for and showing them that you care for them. It's hugely important. Send, just because messages. So, and this is just for example, I have one of my best friends who we live on opposite coasts. I'm West Coast, she's East Coast. She is an amazing baker. And if you want to see her magic, check out Emma Bakes Bread on Instagram. Her IG is fantastic and really impressive. But, I'll be watching a baking show and see them doing a challenge. I'll text her, be like, yo, dude, you totally crushed this challenge. Or it's pretty fun. She regularly snaps me her bakes that she's doing, or silly things with her animals. And even though we're not having a super deep conversation, I feel super connected to what's going on in her life because I get to, she takes the time to send me a Snapchat and I get to see it. So doing stuff like that too can be really fun and a really fun way to just like let that person know that you're thinking of them, and just helping you keep apprised of each other's life, even if you're not living in the same place. And then my last tip for you is to be honest. This can be really hard, but here's the thing. First of all, this has multiple parts. First, be honest with yourself. Be honest with who you are. Because if you are pretending to be someone that you're not, those friendships will not be true, strong friendships. Those friendships aren't going to be people that have your back no matter what. It's going to be superficial. So first things first, be honest with yourself and who you are. Then, secondly, be honest with your friends. And it's hard. It's really, really hard. But, you know, if something happens where, I mean, and it's sometimes it's like very just like being vulnerable, right? But, you know, if your friend does something that upsets you, you need to tell them and be honest with them. And here's the thing. If you're like, well, but Ashley, they won't respond well to it. They'll hate me. They will stop talking to me. Well, okay. If you have a friend that's going to respond that way because you call them out on something, they may not be a good friend, right? The people that are going to have your back no matter what are also going to expect you to be honest with them. And vice versa. You should expect them to be honest with you. And when, you know, they have the courage to say, hey, you know, this thing you did like actually really hurt my feelings or whatever, you know, just like you would hope that they would treat you in that circumstance, you have to just embrace them with love and, you know, sincerity and say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like that was not my intention. I was really insensitive, you know, whatever it is. Right. And that's happened to me where I cracked a joke, that hurt someone's feeling, and they called me out. They like took me aside and they were like, hey, you know, this is how that made me feel. And then they apologized for calling me out on it. And I was like, no, dude, like you're my friend. It's not my intention to hurt you. And so that was out of line. I am so sorry. I'm so glad that you told me. Please don't apologize. You are absolutely in the right here, entitled to, you know, how that made you feel in this moment. And I'm so glad that you called me out on it, because that's never my intention, is to, you know, hurt people, but we're human. We make mistakes. So be okay with being honest with others, and also be okay when they're honest with you. So I would love, you know what, just drop a picture of you and one of your best friends. I would love to see that. So until next time, keep living your healthiest and most abundant life. We will talk soon.